I don't want to wake him up, you know what I mean? Alright, so it's 3 in the morning. I just woke up. I went to sleep around, 8 p.m., 7, 8 p.m. I think it was 7. Damn early. It was damn early. And I woke up now and I can't go back to sleep, so I figure, well, might as well start my day. So here I am starting my day. Okay? I want to talk about something that it's really bugging me, really, since I think last Wednesday. I had a fight with my dad because I didn't show up to work on Wednesday. I mean, I'm not in the right, really. I'm not in the right. I'm not here to tell you I'm in the right in this situation because I'm not. So I had this fight with my dad on Wednesday because I was needed at work and I was not there. And, it was a stupid problem, really. It was a stupid issue, just a phone call. They called my dad with that I work for him, at this place, at this business that he's part of. And, I didn't show up and they needed me at some point throughout the day and I wasn't there. And so they called me and I didn't pick up because my phone was actually charging. And then, of course, they couldn't reach out to me, so they tried to reach out to him. They called him. He, of course, he picked up and he solved it. He solved the problem. Was some something, it was really not that big of a deal. It was just, something they wanted to ask. And but this made my father aware that, well, they couldn't reach out to him. They reach out to me, so something's up, right? And he texted me. He wanted to know about this, and you can tell. I think you can tell by the look at my face. I think you can tell by my face alone. I got some issues. All right. I think we can, summarize it like that. I think we can narrow it down to I got some issues, and I got fuck it. That's something for another video, maybe another day when I'm willing to talk about it. But I got some issues, and you know, I often try to hide it from everyone in life. I I put that much effort into people not knowing about my issues. I mean, because if they start asking me questions about it, even if I give them answers, really truthful answers about how I feel, they won't ever be able to really understand it. I'm an advocate for the idea that people only understand what you're feeling really when they feel if they sometime in life or somehow they went through something like that. They can I think when you can relate to a feeling, when I tell you something and you were like, damn, I felt this before, you can't understand me to some degree more than ordinary people that went through some other issues and not this ones. They can't understand it truly. So when I tell you I can't control myself, straight up, I can control myself. I got these, these. How do we say this? I got these things, these needs, these addictions. More, I got these addictions, and they get the best out of me. Sometimes they get the best out of me. What can I say? And these issues, they made me depressed, right, and anxious as well. So sometimes I'm not even able to, do something about it because I'm just, way too depressed to actually get up, So I'm in this mood right now where I'm just, taking things slowly in my time. I'm trying to get through it all, I'm fighting things, but I'm doing it in my own pace because at the end of the day, what can I do really? If I just try to brute force my way into being healthy, brute force my way into winning against all of these odds, all of these struggles, I'm just gonna, get disappointed again because I won't be able to do it. I gotta build up this inside of me. It's a whole other process, So for those for those issues, I wasn't I didn't go to work last Wednesday, and my father caught up to that, and he called me, he texted me about it, and I just I try to avoid people asking questions about it because they won't understand. And what happens most of the time is people ask questions about it, and I do answer those questions. I do answer those questions wholeheartedly, if that's even a word, and they just don't understand, and they kind of flame me for it, saying that's my fault. I mean, I can understand that. I can completely understand that because when I tell you, man, I'm struggling with this, I'm struggling with that, and I can get over this, I can get over that, and it seems like I can control me when the time comes, when these addictions they show up to choke me into submission. But you look at me and you're like, I mean, dude, what do you mean you can't? I mean, I can do it for you. No one can really do it for you. So, uh, 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 if there's someone that can do it, it's you, right? And I mean, they're right. They're 100% right. But what they fail to understand is that sometimes we are weaker than our own feelings. We're sometimes we can go through these fog. We can go through these flames. Sometimes we are weaker than that. And I'm give you addictions. I mean, 70% of, if not 80%, 90% of the humans on this earth have some kind of addiction. And when I say addiction, it's something like you can't just overcome overnight, right? I mean, that's an example of some type of a scenario that you can control yourself, and you're weaker than your own struggle, than your own issues, internal issues, right? So if you want to begin to understand what I feel, and of course what's other people in this world feel as well, you start through that. There is some things that you need to deal with inside, some issues that you need to deal with inside, that you often see, like, that you way too often you just can't go through them. You can't brute force your way into choking them, because they're choking you anyway. So people ask questions, I answer them wholeheartedly. I answer them from the bottom of my heart, with all honest in the world. Tell them exactly how I feel, and they get offended by it. I tell them how I feel, and they were like, "What the fuck? How can you even feel like that? What? You got no struggles at all in life. How can you? How dare you feel in this way?" All right? How dare you be depressed? How dare you be anxious? You got no struggles. You never went through hunger. You never went through misery, right? So, extreme poverty. You never went through nothing like that. So, how dare you feel this way? And I'm like, I'm like, man, what the fuck? You're trying to make me feel worse? All right, bro. All right. You're trying to make me feel worse. I mean, what the fuck is that, man? What are we? Is this? Suffering Olympics? Porra. Abby, what the fuck, man? What? I didn't suffer enough to get your, your mercy? You can't understand it? Just because, I'm not, in some poverty situation, just because I'm not, fucking miserable, just because I'm not in the fucking ground, without really a chance of fighting back, I can't struggle with anything. All right, bro. I'm sorry. I didn't know that. Didn't know that. You enlightened me. I mean, now I know, bro. Now I know. Anyway, fuck, man. What the fuck is this life, bro? Ooh. Anyway, that's coffee, okay? I thought I had to clear that out because we were talking about addiction here. Anyway, stop trying to be funny, man. You're not. Okay, so yeah, I had this fight with my dad, and I gotta deal with him today at work. I'm going to work. You don't need to worry about that, but I'm gonna need to face him, which is not gonna be cool. I don't like facing other people about my own struggles, right? Uh, because they won't understand, man. And even if they did, they're in the right anyway. I mean, if I just went to work Wednesday, I wouldn't be in this mess to begin with. So yeah, man, that's how fucked up the situation really is, man. I I don't want to deal with other people about my own struggles because it's not gonna help me really. It's just gonna make me feel worse because I'm making other people feel worse. So might as well just give up. No, no, I'm not going to. So yeah, I mean, I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna say to him. I don't know if I can, be complete silence and just, endure all the oh man, the thing is, when he texted me, I made things so much worse, man. He texted me about, next week we're gonna talk about this when we see each other, and we're gonna have a serious conversation about this. And I was like, I got so angry, man, so angry about that. Because again, I don't, I think I felt beforehand. I already felt all the stress that's involved with this situation of me trying to sell my story, trying to tell whatever I feel and, being demolished for it, right? Demolished by people that, just can't have mercy and put all the blame on me, It's like, it's like you're not appreciating the opportunity that life gave you. You're not living to for life to its fullest. You're letting me down, and I'm doing everything I can for you. You're letting me down. You're letting your mother down. You're letting everyone down. You're letting yourself down. I mean, letting myself down I can handle just fine, but letting you guys down, man, it's way too much of a headache to me. It's way too much of a headache. So fuck, man, come on. So yeah, I just thought about and felt for a moment. I really felt all this stress beforehand. I mean, I'm gonna feel it today when we talk about it, but I felt last Wednesday when he texted me and I crashed out. I'm not gonna lie to you, sports fans. I crashed the fuck out. I I wrote him some things that I shouldn't have, right? Man, I made the situation worse, and I put way too much weight on this Wednesday just because, I got. Just because I got. Man, when he told me we had to talk, something possessed me, really, man. I felt all this stress and all these my cortisol levels went through the roof. Sports fans, yeah. So yeah, I don't know how I'm gonna, I don't know how I'm gonna, get the best out of my situation. I don't think I can really. Not this one. I've been really thinking about, leaving my job because, aside from the fact that, I'm affecting my father with it because I can't maintain uh, this level of, commitment to it. We also don't have any father son relationship at all. Everything is just work. It feels like, we got no intimacy, really, we're not intimate. It's not like we're father and son, really. It's just like we are the boss and the worker or something like that. So, yeah, I've been thinking about leaving. I'll probably tell him that today, later. I'll probably tell him that. I've been thinking about leaving. We got no relationship at all aside from the job, and I don't think that's healthy for us. And my lack of commitment, it's not helping us either, our relationship either. And that's it, man. That's basically it. I made the situation worse. I'll tell you what. If I didn't crash out on the telephone, that wouldn't be that much weight to this right now. It's kind of funny now that I'm thinking about it because of course, the way he text me, the way he wrote to me, uh, it reads like it was gonna be a hell of a situation today. But that's just the way he talks, man. That's just the way he talks. It didn't mean like really. Uh, Next week, your liver is mine, young man. No, it didn't. It wasn't like that, man. But it felt like it when he wrote to me, and what I predicted really was exactly the scenario that I created myself, right? Because I crashed out at him and I made the situation a lot worse. At some point, he was like, man, stop, man. Just stop. I'll deal with you next week. Just stop texting me. My head is already full. I gotta, my day is already. I'm so much busy and everything. Man. Don't. Just stop, man. Next week we'll talk about it. And I stopped, and I was like, later on, I was like, I was feeling really depressed, man, when he said that to me, and I went and I turned out to be even more depressed when the fight ended, right? So I was like, oh my god, what the fuck, what I did, man. And since I was a child, I have this problem where I talk what I feel, right? Not talk about what I feel. I mean, I do that too, but my mistake is that since I was a child, I talk what I feel. I talk what I feel. I mean, so if I'm feeling depressed, really, if depression is just choking the life out of me, and I'm so fucking sad that I can't even, I will write some of the most horrendous shit to people. Horrendous in a way that, things that people will read and be like, what? Why is he even telling me this? Or why is he talking about it? Or where's this coming from? Or what a weirdo. What a weird guy. Things that make things that bring this discomfort. I think that's the word you guys use for it. Make people feel an uneasy. Oh man, come on. my lack my grammar is just so fucked up, man. I can grasp the words that I really need to say. I don't even know them really. I mean, excuse my English, man. I learned English from Team Fortress 2 and Penguin Zero, right? Penguin Zero, Penguin Z Zeros. Is that it? I don't know, man. Yeah, that's my English teachers right there, bro. Okay, so yeah, that's the thing. So I talk what I feel. If I'm feeling angry, man, sometimes I can't control myself when I'm angry. I can, stop myself from texting, stop myself from talking. Not 100% of the time, of course. I'm still working on that, but man, I talk what I feel, and that fucks me up really, really bad. I mean, I fucked up relationships because of that, man. There was this girl. Fuck it. I'm giving you guys a little bonus. 20 minutes in my app, and might as well just give you guys a bonus, right? There was this girl in my classroom when I was in school, and I liked her. Uh, she was my crush, and you know, she was kind of getting into me. She was getting building some interest in me over time because at that time I was something of a something of a seducer myself, if you know what I mean, right? I was just that guy, I had those words, and I had this way of talking to. Anyway, fuck it. I had my way better than I do today, if we can say like that. So we were I was winning her, and she was getting interest in me. It was a process, and we would talk every day in school. We would sit right next to each other. We would help each other out with work and everything like that. We would talk about way. I mean, we would talk about World War II, and a fucking ABBA, and memes and shit. So yeah, and I was beginning to win her over. Really, she was really interested in me, as I was in her. And then since I was a child, since I was a child, I always had depression. Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't really know why, but I always had it. So I had this outburst of depression. Sometimes I do feel like this. That's the point I was trying to make a few minutes ago. I was sometimes I have this outburst of sadness, and if something happens to me, or if I made a streak of bad choices and bad decisions that make me feel bad about myself and everything. So I had this outburst of sadness suddenly. I think I think it was because my aunt had this this back issue, and she fell, and she couldn't move at all. She couldn't move. She was lie down at the corridor of her house. We went there to help her because my cousin, her daughter, my cousin, she called us to help, and we were there helping her, get up, and trying to help her to get up and lie her down in bed. She was on the floor, and you know she couldn't move, and she was laughing about it. She was laughing about it. My aunt, she was always so funny, and she was laughing about this whole situation. But I was basically a child. I had 12 years old, 13 years old, something like that. 13 to 14 years old, something like that. 12 to 14. And she was laughing, and I was so sad about it, about seeing her like this, about the situation. And I was sad about how people do struggle really with so much shit. I always thought that my biggest struggle was myself, and Really, it is. Struggling with myself, I learned to deal with whatever the fuck life throws at me. So what what makes me suffer the most is myself and what I do to others and what I cause in others. So anyway, she had this back issue. She was light on the floor. We were trying to help her, and that made me. I was laughing at the moment with her, to maybe to I didn't really want to show that I was feeling that bad. But when we managed to get her on bed, I went to the sofa, to the couch, on the on another on another what do you call it? Fuck it. So we put her on bed, and I went out of the room. I sat on the couch, and I immediately started texting my crush, and was just talking about I was just talking to her so much shit, man. I began talking so much weird shit. I told her like I'm poisoning myself. I really wrote that. I wrote exactly that. I'm poisoning myself. That's the only thing I remember really, but everything else was just on that caliber, probably. And she was reading all that, and she was like, "What?" Like anyone else would, really. And I couldn't stop myself from doing it because I was feeling so bad, so sad, right? I was crumbling. I really felt like I was poisoned. And now that I think about it, I really am. It's like I got this issue since I was a young man, since I was 9, 10. Why? Anyway, anyway. Want to know something good about myself? I'm kind of a I'm kind of a comedian. I was always a comedian. I always loved making people laugh. And based on that, I have a channel. I got a channel on this YouTube. I might as well, just start to post videos on it because I making people laugh makes me feel better. So I'll try something. I don't know. Anyway, anyway, I think I got lost in the sauce right here, but yeah, I had this emotional outburst, like I always had, like I always did, and of course he doesn't know about it. No one knows about this because no one in my family knows about this because I always had these episodes, but no one really knows about it because I didn't really never said anything, and even if I did, I just now realize everything. I never knew it really. I just went through it and I thought it was normal. I thought it was regular. I mean, I found about it today. I found about it right now, right? I always had these. That's fucking crazy. If I found that out today, that wasn't normal and that couldn't be normal. I didn't I didn't told anyone about it. No one knows except me. So everyone's just gonna, hold me accountable for whatever the fuck I said while I was having this episode. Anyway, just wanted to, yap about this. Anyway, just wanted to yap about this. That's it. See ya.